Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The shocking turn that finally brings Kane and Lily back together? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates hint that Kane Ashby might be able to win back Lily Winters in one way or another. Kane's concerns regarding the reunion he desires may be resolved by a major twist. Kane is desperate for Lily's future. Kane is determined to build a relationship with Lily in the future, but he hasn't given her any solid reasons to trust him again. Given all of the suffering that Kane has inflicted upon her in the past and the numerous lies that he has told, Lily's cautiousness is understandable. Additionally, Kane's decision to reunite with Colin Atkinson prior to his death irritated Lily. Kane's lies about Aristotle Dumas and the chaos in Nice didn't help his case either, but he doesn't want to give up on starting a new chapter with Lily. Despite Lily's consistent rejections, Kane remains optimistic that he might eventually persuade her to give him another opportunity. Kane would love to see Lily again. Kane wants nothing more than to rekindle his relationship with Lily and bring the twins back into their family, but first, he needs to win them over. Matty Ashby and Charlie Ashby forgiving him is crucial to his success. This leads us to a possible twist that could help Kane achieve his personal goals, which he has admitted are more important to him than his career goals. At some point, Y&R might place Kane in serious jeopardy. A plot twist could be on the horizon that threatens Kane's very existence. Kane, for instance, might get into a car accident or another kind of mishap. Kane's back could be targeted once more by an unknown enemy. There's a chance that a mysterious foe could target Kane, leaving him gravely injured. Lily requires something to help dismantle the barriers she has erected regarding Kane. The near loss of Kane could facilitate this and lead to some poignant hospital scenes. We can easily envision Lily pleading with the unconscious Kane to awaken in such a scenario. Lily might tearfully bargain with Kane, promising a reunion if he simply returns to her out of desperation. This could really shake Lily up and make her realize how much she still loves her ex-husband. Essentially, a near-death experience may be the answer to Kane's problems with his reunion, showing Lily how much she stands to lose. Kane's missing pieces, Lily's past, and Amanda's return. 6-year-old Kane Ashby's missing pieces are displayed. Additionally, Lily Winters must contemplate her past. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Amanda Sinclair returns. The last time that we saw Amanda, she was in Nice with Kane and the other partygoers. Kane assured her that he would comprehend her decision to quit. She agreed to remain aboard despite her disagreement with the events. Amanda won't return until the episode on Friday. So, we will see what she can reveal about Kane, if she opens up at all. Kane Ashby's missing pieces. Eric Braden's Victor Newman has thrown Kane a curveball regarding Colin Atkinson, who was previously played by Tristan Rogers. Kane was extremely perplexed because he had the impression that his father had sorted out his life. However, there is also the possibility that Victor devised the entire con to coerce Kane into making a deal. Kane will reflect on the 6 years he spent after leaving Genoa City throughout the week. In the meantime, Lily also considers her relationship with Kane. Claire Grace Newman's future. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of August 25th, Victoria Newman, played by Amelia Heinley, is concerned about the future of Claire Grace Newman, played by Hayley Erin. The mother's concern is justified. Although Claire had every right to expose Zuleika Silva's Audra Charles, her level of satisfaction is concerning. She continues to reassure everyone that she is not Jordan, but a woman can resort to extreme measures when she is hurt or humiliated. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott makes a bold move. I wonder if this is about Claire or something else. Elsewhere, Nick Newman and Adam Newman make a pact. Additionally, Nick will attempt to mitigate the damage with Michelle Stafford's Phyllis Summers. Nate Hastings opens up to Devon Winters. Additionally, Billy Abbott informs Jack Abbott of Kane's most recent scheme. Additionally, Melody Thomas Scott's Nikki Newman, who makes a significant shift at Chancellor, will appear. Will this alteration in any way prevent Kane from achieving his goals? Victor and Jack will make fun of one another. Kane Ashby's world on The Young and the Restless has always been defined by complications, lies, betrayals, and desperate attempts to repair what he once shattered, but spoilers and updates now hint that a shocking turn may finally bring him and Lily Winters back together in a way no one in Genoa City could have foreseen. Because despite Lily's guarded heart and the walls she has carefully built after years of pain, loss, and disappointment, Kane is determined to rewrite his future and remind Lily of the bond that once made them one of the most beloved couples on the canvas. And as Kane reflects on the past, the lies about his identity, the betrayals with Juliet, the manipulations tied to Colin Atkinson, and the chaos in Nice involving Aristotle Dumas, he knows that Lily has every reason to keep her distance, yet what he cannot ignore is the raw, unyielding love he still feels for her, the kind of love that does not fade despite mistakes and time, a love that fuels his desperation to find redemption, not only for himself but also for his fractured family, because in Kane's eyes the reunion with Lily and the healing of the rift with Matty and Charlie Ashby matter far more than any business ambition or career aspiration he might once have pursued. And this vulnerability opens the door for a twist, an event so dramatic that it shakes both Kane and Lily into confronting feelings they have long buried, perhaps in the form of a devastating accident or a violent attack from an unseen enemy that once again leaves Kane clinging to life, his body broken but his will strong. As he lies unconscious in a hospital bed with monitors beeping steadily while the people who know him best circle with mixed emotions. And in that charged environment, Lily, who has spent years convincing herself that she has moved forward, suddenly feels the full weight of what losing Kane forever would mean, bringing her to his bedside in scenes that could rival the most poignant hospital moments in Y&R history, scenes where she clasps his hand, tears falling as she pleads with him to return, bargaining with the universe and whispering promises she thought she would never make again. Words like "just come back to me and we'll find a way" slipping out in raw desperation. And in that moment Lily realizes that the anger and mistrust she has carried are real but not greater than the love still lingering beneath, a love that no betrayal could extinguish completely, and while Kane is unaware, drifting between consciousness and oblivion, those words could be the tether pulling him back. The turning point that not only saves his life but reignites a romance thought to be impossible. And surrounding this central arc are rippling subplots that only heighten the drama, such as Amanda Sinclair's return to Genoa City with knowledge of Kane's missing 6 years, because Amanda, last seen with Kane in Nice, holds pieces of his story that could either expose him again or vindicate him, depending on whether she chooses to reveal secrets about the Dumas debacle and Kane's attempts to atone after leaving town. And Amanda's re-entry inevitably forces Lily to confront the past she tried to lock away, because Amanda represents not only truth but also temptation, the reminder that Kane's world has always been crowded with shadows and unfinished business. And then there is Victor Newman, who inserts himself into Kane's struggles in true Victor fashion by dangling information about Colin Atkinson, suggesting that Colin's great fraud was not fully resolved and hinting that perhaps Kane has been manipulated again, which sends Kane spiraling into doubt about his father's influence from beyond the grave, yet also provides Victor leverage to coerce Kane into a deal that could impact Chancellor Winters and thereby draw Lily further into Kane's orbit, forcing them to interact on professional terms even as their personal history simmers beneath the surface. And as this is unfolding, Lily herself is undergoing a reckoning with her own past, remembering not only the love she once shared with Kane but also the pain of losing Neil, the consequences of Hillary's death, and the way she has tried to reinvent herself as a strong, independent leader. Yet despite all her progress, the raw truth surfaces when Kane's life hangs in the balance. She cannot imagine a world where Kane is simply gone, and that realization paves the way for the possibility of forgiveness, but Kane knows words alone will not be enough, so even as he recovers from whatever near-death ordeal the writers may give him, be it a car crash orchestrated by an unknown enemy, a mugging gone wrong, or a revenge scheme tied back to Colin, he understands that regaining Lily's trust will require proving himself not through grand speeches but through consistency, transparency, and showing up for the twins, which means reaching out to Matty and Charlie, now young adults with their own judgments about their father, because Kane recognizes that if his children can forgive him, Lily may follow, and yet the stakes are raised by the return of Amanda, who could be a catalyst or a wedge depending on her choices. While elsewhere the canvas remains full of intersecting drama, Victoria Newman's concern for Claire Grace Newman, who struggles with her identity after exposing Audra Charles, Kyle Abbott's bold moves that may or may not tie into Claire's trajectory, Nick and Adam Newman forming a fragile truce to support family unity, Nate Hastings opening up to Devon Winters in moments of honesty, Billy Abbott whispering suspicions about Kane's schemes to Jack, and Nikki Newman making a significant shift at Chancellor that could either bolster Lily's position or create obstacles for Kane's redemption arc, all of which swirl around the central question: can a man so deeply flawed and so often deceitful truly change? And if he can, will the woman he loves be willing to risk her heart one more time? And the answer seems to lie in that shocking twist, the life-and-death crisis that strips away pretense and pride to reveal the enduring bond between Kane and Lily. Because in the soap world it is often tragedy that rekindles romance. And in this case, the sight of Lily at Kane's bedside, vowing through tears that she cannot lose him again, could be the very moment that tips the scales, ushering in a slow but powerful reunion arc where forgiveness is earned, love is rediscovered, and the Ashby family is given a chance to rebuild from the ashes of their past mistakes, creating a storyline rich with emotional beats, generational conflict, and the kind of sweeping drama that keeps the young and the restless at the center of daytime conversation. Kane Ashby's recovery after his near-death ordeal does not come easily, because though the physical wounds can be mended with time, the deeper emotional scars and the lingering distrust from Lily and their children require more than bandages and hospital monitors. And as Kane lies awake at night in his recovery room, staring at the ceiling, haunted by the sound of Lily's voice begging him not to leave her, he recognizes that this unexpected twist of fate has given him a second chance. But second chances are fragile and easily lost if squandered, so Kane begins to resolve that every move he makes from now on will be deliberate, transparent, and focused on showing Lily that the reckless, deceptive man she once loved is gone, replaced by someone who finally understands that love is not about manipulation but about accountability. And yet Kane also knows that in Genoa City nothing is simple, for Victor Newman, never one to pass up an opportunity to manipulate, has begun circling, like a hawk, dangling the mystery of Colin Atkinson's supposed final scheme as bait to pull Kane into a larger Newman chessboard. And while Kane's instinct is to resist, the ghost of Colin still has power over him, making him question whether he can ever fully escape the shadow of his father's crimes. Meanwhile Lily, though shaken by the possibility of losing Kane, tries to steel herself by telling Devon, Nate, and even Billy Abbott that her emotions at the hospital bedside were nothing more than a surge of nostalgia, an involuntary reaction to crisis rather than a sign of lingering affection. But her tears, the way her voice cracked when she begged Kane to fight, and the sleepless nights that follow tell a different story, one that she cannot easily admit even to herself. And Amanda Sinclair's return only makes the situation more complicated, because Amanda arrives not as the quiet lawyer who once mirrored Hillary's face but as a woman carrying truths from Kane's missing 6 years, truths that could either destroy him or help Lily see that he has tried to evolve. For in Nice, Kane had confided in Amanda about the demons he faced, the regrets he carried, and the futile efforts to reconcile his desire for family with the destructive pull of Colin's influence. And though Amanda has no desire to insert herself between Kane and Lily romantically, she does hold knowledge that could sway Lily's perception, so the tension builds as everyone wonders whether Amanda will speak up in defense of Kane or remain silent to protect herself from being dragged back into Newman Abbott chaos, while at the same time the twins, Matty and Charlie, represent the final hurdle in Kane's redemption arc, for no reunion with Lily is possible unless he can win back their trust. And though Matty has grown into a sharp, independent young woman who harbors deep resentment for Kane's endless lies, Charlie has always been more conflicted, torn between disappointment in his father and the desire to believe in his sincerity. So Kane takes small, painstaking steps, writing letters from his hospital bed, sending texts that are not defensive but vulnerable, and asking for the chance to simply listen to his children rather than defend himself. And as those efforts slowly crack the door open, Lily begins to watch from the sidelines, her heart tugging as she sees Kane trying to reconnect with the family he nearly destroyed. And though she warns herself not to let her guard down, her subconscious is already envisioning what a second chance might look like, especially when Kane, instead of pushing her with declarations of undying love, quietly thanks her for saving him with her words in the hospital, acknowledging that he owes his very life to her belief in him. And this humility strikes Lily in a way no grand romantic gesture ever could, because it shows growth, restraint, and true gratitude. And while this personal storyline unfolds, Genoa City itself churns with turbulence that indirectly affects their trajectory. Victor continues to test Kane by offering him a position that would tie him closer to Newman Enterprises, knowing full well that this entanglement could either elevate Kane's status or destroy his fragile credibility if he falters. Victoria battles her own crisis as she frets over Claire Grace Newman's ability to separate herself from Jordan's shadow, worrying that Claire's satisfaction in exposing Audra Charles hints at darker tendencies. Kyle Abbott makes a bold, impulsive move in business that could destabilize Jabbo, raising questions about whether he is acting to protect Claire or to prove himself against his father. Nick and Adam Newman work together in a rare display of brotherly truce, only for Phyllis Summers to stir the pot with her own brand of chaos, which once again leaves Nick trying to contain fallout while Adam privately strategizes for his own advantage. Devon Winters listens with guarded empathy as Nate Hastings bears his struggles, revealing insecurities and lingering regrets that remind Devon of the fragility of trust in both business and love. And Jack Abbott finds himself once more in the awkward position of hearing Billy's suspicions, this time about Kane's supposed new scheme, which Billy interprets as a con rather than a redemption attempt, planting seeds of doubt that could spread quickly if not contained. And amid all this noise, Nikki Newman makes a surprising shift at Chancellor, stepping into a role that changes the corporate dynamic and inadvertently puts Kane and Lily in each other's orbit more often. For Nikki's move creates a situation where Kane must either cooperate with Lily on business projects or risk sabotaging himself, forcing them into close proximity where old wounds reopen but also where moments of tenderness unexpectedly surface. And through it all the viewers see Lily torn between her head, which warns her not to trust Kane, and her heart, which remembers the warmth of their family and the way his hand felt wrapped around hers in the darkest hours. And it becomes clear that the shocking turn was never just Kane's accident but the chain reaction it triggered. Lily's raw confession in the hospital, Kane's renewed dedication to honesty, Amanda's possession of crucial truths, the twins' gradual softening, and the Newman-Abbott Chancellor business chess that keeps shoving them together, all converging into a slow burn arc that positions Kane and Lily for a reunion that feels earned rather than rushed, a reunion that acknowledges the pain of the past but dares to imagine a future where forgiveness, resilience, and enduring love finally win the day, reminding longtime Young and the Restless fans that while betrayals may fracture bonds, the heart often finds a way back to what it cannot forget. As Kane's journey of redemption inches forward, the emotional terrain grows more complicated, because though Lily Winters feels the undeniable pull of her old love and the bittersweet ache of remembering what they once had, she refuses to let herself be swept away too quickly. And this internal tug-of-war plays out in every quiet glance she casts Kane's way, in every lingering silence when his name is mentioned, and in every dream where she still sees their family together, whole and happy, even as reality reminds her that trust broken so many times does not rebuild overnight. And for Kane this is both his greatest frustration and his greatest motivation, because while part of him longs to shout that he has changed, that he has fought back from death's door and now knows what truly matters, the wiser part of him accepts that proving such a claim requires patience, consistency, and humility, so Kane continues to tread carefully, deliberately showing Lily that his focus is not on winning her affection through charm or manipulation but on demonstrating stability, honesty, and devotion to their children. And this effort begins to pay subtle dividends when Mattie, still fiercely protective of her mother, reluctantly admits that her father's attempts at outreach feel different this time, less defensive, less self-serving, more rooted in listening, while Charlie, ever more forgiving, tentatively reaches out with a phone call that stuns Kane, leading to an emotional conversation where Kane apologizes not only for the big lies that rocked their family but also for the small betrayals, the missed birthdays, the broken promises, the moments he chose ambition or ego over being present. And for the first time in years, Charlie allows himself to say he misses his dad, a moment that fills Kane with hope and dread, for he knows regaining his son's affection is only one step, while Mattie and Lily remain more difficult terrain. Yet these small victories begin to change the tone of the story, because Lily